So, welcome to our Air Force Sergeants Association's Chapter 1163 Legislative Awareness Week. It's going to kick off next Monday and then travel through all 5 days. There'll be Zoom meetings at the international level that I hope that you dial into and get into the details of what we do. At the international level, I'm your international president, Kerry Wright, and a great supporter and part of Chapter 1163 in Division 6. And we have the honor of having Chief Master Sergeant retired Jim Lockovic with us here this week. And Jim ran the Hill for many, many years. Supporting your benefits for your families and for the active duty and retirees and all the great things that we do. And I appreciate you being here. Jim, he's a great friend of mine. And I'll just pass it over to you on what we've done over the years.
Well, since 1961, we have been working on Capitol Hill, communicating the needs of our members to elected officials. And the reason that that's very important is that the Department of Defense and the services, despite what you may think, have never initiated a quality of life benefit program. That's not their business. Theirs is to fight and win wars and protect the homeland and protect our interests abroad. But they do not initiate programs, nor do any of the other major agencies. They're not allowed to. They don't control their own budgets. The amount of money that they could spend each year is up to a very fickle Congress. And they can request a certain amount, and they do each year. But then the president submits his budget plan first week of February every year. And then Congress goes through a period of hearings. And it's during those hearings that our team at our headquarters goes up to Capitol Hill and talks to members of Congress and communicates your needs, the things that you need in the area of quality of life benefit programs. And Congress depends on us to do that. You have to keep in mind that the Department of Defense, once it does get its dollars that they finally do get, they're going to spend first on operational needs, O&M funds, weapon systems, research and development, and so forth, and relatively lower in priority, I always say, but not unimportant, are quality of life benefit programs. But they will cut there before they cut operational programs with their money. That's why things like termination of tuition assistance for a while come about, because DoD is going to look there. The very lowest priority and the only is retirement programs. That's the first place they will always look to cut. And so you start seeing things like increasing the cost of military retiree health care, limiting, recently announced, and I think we're going to get Congress to prevent it from happening, recently announced that they're going to eliminate a lot of pharmacies, about 15,000 pharmacies, which are going to severely limit possibilities for retirees in a lot of outlying places. And so no doubt our team is going to be working to try to reverse that. So it's very important that we're there, but also as we operate as sort of a stopgap, and that is things happen during the year, even if they're not in our member-approved legislative target list, our legislative platform, then we take action then. At every international convention, a vote is taken during the legislative forum that basically says we empower the headquarters to make these decisions on anything that comes up between now and the next international convention. Last fall, BAH was a good example of that, and we had to address that. Congress depends on AFSA. We're sort of the go-to association when they want to know if what they're hearing from DoD's bean counters they're dollars and cents people who are trying to shift money around more towards operational. But Congress considers us the source of the accurate information as to how it's going to affect you in the area of quality of life. So we're well known on Capitol Hill, and one of the things that we do is make sure that they're aware on a regular basis of what your needs are. And then finally, one of the things that we do, and it's going to happen in January, there'll probably be about 60 to 70 new members of Congress, House and Senate combined, and our team will go up on the Hill and meet with every one of those new members of Congress over the next several months, and their staffers, their key staffers, and we will explain your needs, the differences between commissioned and enlisted, and some of the things that we're working on right now, and we could use their help. And we offer ourselves as a resource for them. If they're hearing something or hearing rumors or they want a fact check, they know they can come to us to get the accurate information.
So the DOD looks at us as a business. They operate, specifically the Air Force and down to the level of the enlisted, as a business when it comes to platforms and weapon systems. But AFSA brings into the fold the actual personal quality of life efforts.
Right, and interestingly, DOD depends on us too, because they must, based on their mission, always prioritize towards operational needs. They do not create quality of life benefit programs, as I said, but they depend on us, and we're highly respected. That's why when we go to international conventions, you see a lot of top-level DOD officials, VA officials, because they depend on us to make sure that Congress knows what needs to be done to take care of the people who are serving. And very, very important. For the life of me, I don't understand why every person in the military is not a member of this association. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's not logical. I think basically it's ignorance. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way. There are many things that I'm ignorant of. But I believe if they did fully understand how we affect them every day they breathe and will, even after they're gone, take care of their survivors, it doesn't make any sense not to be an estimate.
Chief, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming up, being part of our chapter up here at 1163, and what you've done for our Air Force Sergeants Association.
You're very welcome, Kerry.